All right. Shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. It is Michael Israel, and you are watching Spiritual Combat. And as you can see, the title of today's show is Staying Healthy in a Toxic World. And what we're going to be going over today in this show is we're going to be talking about uh, some rock solid ways you can stay healthy, stay fit, stay in shape, avoid all the different illnesses that are going around, um, through with diet and herbs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be hitting on. I know I haven't done a Hebrew health series episode in a while. But that doesn't mean I haven't been studying consistently. Like I've really been digging deep in a lot of different areas um, concerning health. Uh, and what I would move to say is the what I've been doing as far as in my studies and research is very foundational. It's just very it's trying to just establish a very solid base of uh, things that work and you know discarding the stuff that doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But just really just digging. And I'm going to really lay out some heavy stuff for y'all today. It's really going to be some eye opening things. I want to encourage y'all to come on in. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to add in, uh, feel free to add it in and contribute to the conversation. Um, yeah, feel free to contribute to the conversation. Uh, but yeah, we're gonna be going in on some important things, some stuff you might not have been aware of. And if you haven't noticed, I'm in chill mode, so I'm in here relaxing. But so yeah, I'll definitely be watching the comments. Do me a favor, and if you can, come in here and let me know how the audio is. And once I get a confirmation that my audio is good to go, we're gonna get after it. Okay. All right. So I'll give y'all a minute to just give me a quick audio video check and give me confirmation on how everything's going on that level, and then we're gonna move with it. Okay. All right. And somebody told me the audio is good. Straightway, Georgia East. Shalom to you, brother. All right. So yeah, man, a lot going on. You see, Pastor has been thoroughly uh, signing off and promoting the antiviral products and some of the other products that we sell at Household Herbs. Uh, well, I'll go over some of those products, um, and just some of the real eye-opening stuff and that I have been brought up to speed on and learned about in the past months. Okay, and look, some of the stuff y'all might feel like it's controversial. If y'all feel it is, let me know about that too. But some very heavy stuff I've come across. All right, and then some stuff I'm gonna have to bring out at a later date, because I like to um, test all things and hold fast to that which is true. So it's like if I ain't tested it and seen it work myself, I ain't gonna be gonna be promoting it and everything like that. So, all right. So let's get into this. First thing we'll briefly talk about. Uh, I want to bring y'all up to speed on some things about the antiviral tincture, um, what it's able to do, and the fact, yeah, even though it's called an antiviral tincture, does way more than that if you research the herbs for yourself. Um, so we're gonna get into that a little bit since that's a big, uh, you know, put it like this: y'all keeping Sister Koya busy, righteously busy in a good way, and she appreciates it. All right, now let me see herbs. I'm gonna bring up my little list here so that I could properly. I want to hit this correctly, but let me tell you real briefly about the antiviral tincture. And there's a tea, and I'm gonna tell you about this and how it works, so that if uh, if you guys, if you get in a pinch, if you're coming down with something, I'm gonna give y'all some high level insider info on this thing. Okay, all right. So the antiviral tincture is mullein and elecampane. So those are predominantly respiratory type herbs. That's one of the main reasons I put those herbs in there. But don't get it twisted. They also help with digestion and all these other areas. But my main purpose for putting them in there is because they're expectorants. They get mucus moving. Okay. Um, they're restoratives. They're what's the word? They're tonifiers and strengtheners of the whole respiratory system, upper and lower. That's why those herbs are in there. Now, don't get it twisted. They also help with inflammation throughout the whole body, the thyroids, the gland function. They're astringents. You know what I'm saying? But predominantly, my purpose putting them in there was for the respiratory system, because that is how the these infections that are going around are, being are affecting us. Okay. um but that's why those are in there. The other one, the cleavers, I put that in there because of its ability to move lymphatic fluid and get the lymph system moving, and on top of that, also get the kidneys functioning and moving. So I put that in there because it's kind of an all-around herb and is gonna get your I don't want to just move somebody's lymph fluid in their kidneys that aren't working, because then your if your kidneys are backed up and your lymph is moving, it's like uh, it's like cleaning out your bathtub. You're cleaning it out, but the drain's backed up. That's how it is. So that's why I put an herb like that in there. Paul Diarco, again, that's another herb that does a ton of things. It's a blood purifier. It does a whole myriad of things. However, my main purpose of putting that in there is because of its ability to inhibit viral replication. It slows or inhibits any virus from replicating itself. Okay, so that's a powerful function, and There's other herbs that do that, but I put that particular one in there because it does a bunch of other things too that are conducive to what I or anybody would be looking for in an herb uh, to combat a virus, and that is it cleanses the blood. Okay, but if you're going to cleanse the blood, when it's cleansed, it's going to take all that stuff and it's going to take it where? It's going to take it into your lymphatic system. Again, that's why I put the cleavers in there, because it gets the lymphatic. So it's a synergistic blend of herbs put in here in that formula to achieve, you know, uh, you know, my the function that I wanted to achieve. Okay. Um, so let me tell you some things you probably don't know about the antiviral tincture. On the bottle, it says, I told Corey, just have them take a teaspoon or a tablespoon or something like that. I forget how much or whatever. But I put you know, an amount in there for a lot of reasons. Um, because, if depending on your health and what you're doing, if you take too much of that, the healing crisis that your body would go into, you probably run to the hospital. And I'm not just saying that off the cuff. I'm saying that because it has actually happened to someone. There was a person who wasn't living um, a lifestyle that we most of our Hebrew brothers and sisters live. There's a person, I think they smoked cigarettes, they were eating a very unhealthy diet, and they weren't in the best of shape. And they took my tincture, and unbeknownst to me, that it was given to them by someone. But anyway, and it caused immediately their body began to detox and cleanse. And mind you, they had never detox or cleanse. So the body shifted into high gear. Their tongue swelled up. Their heart rate started increasing, and just all types of crazy stuff started happening. But again, person smoked cigarettes, drank a lot of bad liquor, diet was off, health wasn't good, and it got her. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell everybody. That's why on the bottle it says take a tablespoon or a teaspoon of this. Whatever it says on the bottle, starting out. What I tell a lot of people is, if I talk to them and I know what their health, where their health levels at, where their diet's at, and they're eating a decent diet, I tell them, hey, take some. And what I would do is take a little and then ramp it up. You know what I'm saying? Because the herbs, you could take those herbs in huge quantities, if you know what you're doing. But the antiviral tea, for instance, the way I take it, like if I was to be coming down with something and I felt something coming on, what I do, I take the antiviral tincture. I get a cup of water, of boiling water, and I pour about half the bottle into that cup of water. Um, Now I let the water cool down a little bit from boiling, and I pour about half the bottle in there, and it evaporates the alcohol off it, and it's just a pure concentrated product in there, and I just drink that down, and that stuff hits. It's amazing what that stuff does. Okay, I mean it will blow something right up out of there. Now, important announcement for y'all, because we're running behind on the antiviral tincture. I think Koya got another batch brewing or whatever, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? That thing, I think it's gonna be ready in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. But Uh, we also have antiviral tea. That the difference between the tincture and the tea is the tincture is absorbed into your system quicker. The tincture is more potent and concentrated because the alcohol as a solvent pours out more of the constituents of the herb of the, you know, it pulls more out of it. The the tea, the benefit of the tea, there's a couple differences. So the tea, instead of having Paul-Diarco, which inhibits viral replication, the tea we made as a maintenance tea. So in there we put our elderberry in there. So the tea has elderberry in it. And so the difference is with the tea, we the tea is more preventative, and the difference between teas and tinctures, teas stay in your system longer. The tinctures go directly into the bloodstream and start working pretty quickly. The tea, that's not the case, but it works for a longer period of time. You can make these teas very powerful too. The way I tell people to make what to do with the tea when we send it out to them is you bring water to a boil, throw the herbs in there, um, bring it down to a simmer, let the herbs simmer in that water for like 20 minutes, and then you pour that whole thing into a jar or whatever, and close that jar up and let it sit in that jar till it cools off. And when you do it like that, you have a very powerful, I think it's called a concoction. Um, it, it's I think it's called an infusion if you don't let it simmer for 20 minutes. You did, but it's a concoction. If you let it simmer, then you pour it in something and let it cool all the way down. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, if you do the herbs, the tea that we send out, if you do it that way, it is very powerful too. Um, if you're taking the tea as a maintenance dose, you really don't have much to worry about. But it's like me. I had kind of fell off on taking maintenance doses, and a couple weeks ago, I felt like an itching or whatever in my throat. And like I said, I just hit the antiviral tincture. I just mollywopped it. I took you know, a good swig of it. And like I said, with me, of course, I make all this stuff, so I don't go by the instructions on the side of the bottle. Oh, it says take 2 teaspoons twice a day or as needed. And you see Koya put or as needed. So you might need more. Best taken between meals. Add to water if preferred. Okay. And no, typically that's the way I take. Cause me, I don't drink alcohol at all. I drank enough in my military years for probably 20 lifetimes. So I made an agreement with y'all that I'd leave it alone. So if I'm doing one of these tinctures and it's too alcohol-y and it's more than a little swig of it, like I said, I'll either add it to water, and if I really want to take a power hit, and I want to really get a heavy herb infusion of it, again, I will take it, pour it, pour it in heated up water, not boiling necessarily, but pretty hot, and that evaporates the alcohol off, and then you could just shoot that down. Okay. Let me see. So that's a lot of information for y'all about the tincture. So now we're gonna get into the latest, the leading edge research that where I am at in my research, um, proven stuff that I want to put out here that I'm working on here. Okay. Uh, excuse me. And again, got the hiccups. Yeah, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, definitely put them in there. Uh, so we're gonna get into the latest, greatest, and up to datest. Okay, and then I'll tell you some of the research I'm working on right now. It's very exciting. So let's talk about vitamins. Okay. And I'll probably grab some of this stuff. Stand by one sec. All right, hold on. All righty. Grab this, and this. We'll grab this stuff for now, and we'll talk about it a little bit. And I talked about this with the saints in our household too. They're privy to a lot of good info. All right. And I'll grab this too. We'll talk a little about this. Okay. So with the current herbal protocol we have, and the method is when we talk about detoxifying the body and cleansing the body, all that stuff like that. Basically, what we're trying to do is just simply get waste and stuff like that out of the body. Okay. We get it out through the lymphatic system, and the primary way a lot of this waste gets out is, urinated out. Number one. Number two would probably be through the skin, through sweating. Number three is going to be, it's excreted out. You poop it out. Okay. Um, with my herbal protocol and the recommended diet of a high fruit diet, not you ain't gotta go fruit only. So it is good to do fruit fast from time to time, but a high fruit diet where you're consuming more fruit. And I could go into that at another time, but when you're consuming fruit in that manner, it causes your fruit cleanses the body. Okay. Uh, the other thing is the herbs. The herbs expedite the body cleansing, where we have our kidney kickstart and adrenal jumpstart tincture. That I'm looking to see if I got some here. I don't, but that's what that does. It jumpstarts your kidneys and adrenals, and that gets your body detox. And then we have a lymphatic formula, and that gets your body, the whole system flowing. Okay. Now, the other thing is the big discovery. Thanks. What's his name? Is it Brother Rich in Kentucky? Ah, man. I'm bad with these names, but I'm gonna give I gotta shout out my brother because he definitely helped me out in that area. So let's see. Y'all give me a sec. Y'all give me a sec. We gonna get this. Oh man. I'm gonna figure this thing out. Y'all give me a second. All right, let me see something real quick. Hey, can y'all turn the TV downstairs so I can hear it up here, please, y'all? All right. All right. So they're gonna do that. But anyway, one of the brothers, the head of the community in Kentucky, um, he pushed me about vitamin D and looking into that. He's like, Mike, you need to dig into this. I'm telling you, it's not just the herbs. It's that vitamin D, Mike. You need to look into it. And I was like, and he kept pushing. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Brother Manuel. Brother Chris from Kentucky. Okay. It's Brother Chris, man. Shout out to Brother Chris from Straightway, Kentucky, because he really pushed me about looking into vitamin D. And I started digging in and looking into it. And I looked into my own vitamin D levels. And sure enough, they were rock bottom. Um, my vitamin D level was you're considered low on vitamin D if your vitamin D level is below 30. Okay. My vitamin D level was at 10. And it looked like at sometimes it had dropped even down to 9 and stuff like that. And so I looked at my levels, they were low. And if your vitamin D is low, it affects your immune system in a big way. There's two parts to your immune system. There's one part of your immune system that's like a special forces unit with snipers, and that's how it takes out foreign invaders efficiently. Precision weapon part. There's one part of your immune system that's like that. Then there's a more foundational part of your immune system that is like a nuclear weapon. It's like carpet bombing, and you just blow up the whole city type deal. Okay, it's not super accurate, but it's powerful and just wipes stuff out. And when your vitamin D gets low, that special forces sniper part of your immune system goes down. And what it can lead to is what they call autoimmune diseases, where your immune system is just wiping everything out there. Just because it's trying to fight something, but it doesn't have the capability to do it because it doesn't have what it needs in order to fight. Okay. The other thing with low vitamin D, and this will put vitamin D in a clearer light on what it does and how it functions, because it's a hormone. It's a messenger in your body. That's what hormones are. They're chemical messengers. They tell your body systems or specific systems in your body what they need to do. And vitamin D communicates to almost every system in your body. And when I explain how it works, you'll understand why. The way your body makes vitamin D is by sunlight. Now, if you're not getting enough sun, then you're going to have to supplement with it. And we will get into that momentarily, how to properly supplement with it. But if you're not getting enough sun, and we're not, and if you live anywhere pretty much north of Florida, more than likely you're not going to get enough vitamin D. And if you're up in these northern states, especially we up here in Tennessee now, majority of the time you're not getting enough vitamin D. And you only get enough vitamin D kind of in the summer months, in the high summer months, and during the peak hours, like the noontime type hours when the sun is at its highest. That's when you're bringing it in. Most people are not getting enough, and that's skin exposure, not just your arms, but getting it on your back and your stomach, all that stuff like that. That's how you're going to bring in a lot. Now, let me tell you how your body works with vitamin D. Literally, when you're out in the sun, it's like your body is creating vitamin D from the sunlight. And basically, to sum up what it's doing, the sunlight hitting your body is like you telling your body, hey, I'm out, I'm in the sun is out, I gotta work, I'm doing work out here, my body, you need to make energy, I need energy, all the systems need to come up and be up at full power because we're in the sun, we're working, it's work time. You're telling your body it's work time when you're out in the sun. And your body starts making vitamin D, and the vitamin D stimulates all your systems. Say, hey, get up and running. We're out here working, we're getting it in. When you are depleted of vitamin D, you're telling your body, hey, no work going on. We're in the dark. Everybody, calm down, relax, take it easy. We're just going to take this thing easy, and we're going to kind of hibernate here, and that's what I was telling my body. you know I was telling my body, hey, we're in hibernation mode, don't worry about nothing, take it easy. And all your systems are working sluggishly. All the systems that vitamin D is a messenger to are like, hey, the vitamin D is telling us, hey, nothing's going on, take it easy. So, hey, man, let's kick back, let's relax, let's get on this break, and we're going to chill. So that's what's happening to a lot of people. If you're dark skinned or you're melanated or you're black, you filter out the melanin in your skin filters out a lot of the sunlight that would make the vitamin D. So you need even more sunlight. That's why Bill Gates wanted to spray something in the atmosphere to block out the sun. If y'all heard him talk about that crazy nut, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all be careful what you say on here now, because Facebook crazy and YouTube crazy. All right. So that's in a nutshell how vitamin D works. You got to make sure you keep it up and going. So what I do is I take vitamin D. Shout out to brother Zach, brother Zach Dow. He's also Straightway Kentucky up there. He told me which one a good one to get, and it's the Pure Encapsulations Vitamin D3. Okay, and so that's a good one. And also, if you take vitamin D, in order to metabolize it and process it, especially, and like I said, I take 10,000 IU. So one of these, you see where it says 10,000 IU of vitamin D per day to bring my vitamin D up. I recently got a blood test, and my vitamin D was up to about 60 nanograms per decimal liter. I think that's the measuring scale of it. So that's where I brought mine up to thus far. And I've been studying about this intensely because I was taking these vitamin Ds, but I really wasn't feeling anything too much different. And for years, my vitamin D has been around 10, because I looked at past blood work and I never really looked at the vitamin D levels. And for years, my vitamin D was at 10, 13, 14, like super low. And it explains some of the symptoms I was getting from that. But now it's up at like 60, but they said you don't really, especially for people who've been chronically low like me for years, they said you really don't start seeing the results till you get it above, what was the number they said? Till you get it above like 80 or something like that. And like what they say the range is 30 to like 90 that you want to be at. within. That is the day. Now, there's people out there who have gotten their vitamin D level up to like 120, and they said when you get it up there, your body starts healing itself and stuff. And I've got a lot. I got a lot of information on that. Okay. All right. So that's vitamin D. Now, when you start taking the vitamin D, especially if you're depleted like me and you're taking it in 10,000 IU at that level, uh, what's going to happen in order to process all that vitamin D, the main thing your body needs is magnesium. So your body will start pulling magnesium to process its vitamin D. Now, I'll tell you what happened to me. When I first stepped up to 10,000 IUs of vitamin D the first time, there was one day I didn't take any magnesium, and boy, my whole body locked up. It cramped up because magnesium, if you have cramps, magnesium will relieve those cramps. Now, there's two types of cramps. There's cramps that you get from low magnesium, and there's cramps you get from low potassium. Here's how to differentiate which one it is. When your magnesium is low, your body will lock up while you're working with your muscles. So you'll be doing a job and you'll just start cramping up. That's low magnesium. If your body cramps up in the middle of the night while you're sleeping, that's low potassium. Okay? So that's how to differentiate which one it is, which one is causing you issues. Okay? But you need to be taking magnesium while you're taking the vitamin D. Okay? At that level, at a 10,000 IU level. When you begin to increase to levels above that, there's other stuff you need to be consuming and taking, like what's that called? Vitamin K. But there's some stuff you gotta be careful of with vitamin K. I think vitamin is K2. I think it is. But we're not getting into that, and I'm not recommending you go any above 10,000 IU unless you're thoroughly educated. There are people that take vitamin D at 40 and 50,000 IU and higher than that too. I'm not there yet. So the magnesium I recommend for you to take right now is magnesium glycinate by Pure Encapsulations. Keeping it pretty simple. Okay. Take one of them a day. And what I do is magnesium glycinate will relax you. The glycinate will relax you. So I recommend people take that before they go to bed, and then it'll relax you. So you take your magnesium glycinate before you go to bed. Take your K2 when you wake up. Another magnesium you could take is magnesium threonate, L-threonate. So the Magmine, that's the one I'll take. Now this will hype you up. This one here you take in the morning. Okay? You take that one in the morning. Okay? And you can experiment, because if you're cramping up, you're going to need more. That's a sign that you're going to need more. So you can experiment. You could try taking a magnesium glycinate before you go to bed, and a magnesium threonate when you wake up, and then your vitamin D3 in the morning. Take that in the morning too, your vitamin D, because that will stimulate you also. Okay. Something I learned from being on a high fruit diet, and at times for about a year or two, no meat. I wasn't eating any meat or anything like that. Okay. Is you will deplete your vitamin B. Vitamin B. You need to take a vitamin B complex. Okay. Uh, and I need to tell you something about this. Something you need to watch out for with vitamin D. Vitamin B complex. B is in boy complex. Vitamin B. I need to tell y'all something you need to watch out for with that. And I'll just tell you now. You need to make sure for the, let me try to get this right. You need to make sure it has methylfolin or methylfolate or folate in it and not, I forget what the other one is called, but that is for the, oh, let me see, for the B6, not the acid. It has to have folate. Okay. And I know that's very important. Okay. It's like, because that's not synthetic. So that's just something to make a note of. FOLATE. Might want to read up on it yourself. It's pretty simple. Just type it in somewhere, figure it out. I'll drop more information on it at a later time. But anyway, so yeah. Let me see what else. So that's an important thing to make sure of. The B complex, when that B gets low, it affects your blood and your blood cells and how many are being made and all that, and that could be a big deal. And that is if you are on a high fruit diet, like I said, I was on a hardcore high fruit diet. But when you're on these diets, you got to make sure you're getting all the right minerals and nutrients and all that stuff like that. But that's a big deal. Let me see. So that concludes the vitamin D thing. Okay. Now, what are we gonna go into next? Okay, we're gonna go into the next big thing. So what I am in the early stages of, and it's in the research phase right now. So far, the results have been good. I'm gonna know something very concretely in the next 2 or 3 days. But what we're talking about is antioxidants. Okay, antioxidants. This is a big deal. And a lot of people, their body is overwhelmed with what they call free radicals. And basically all that is anytime your body is breaking stuff down, it's breaking particles apart and this, that, and the other, and it creates particles in your body that are negatively charged. And basically what those particles do is they pull particles from cells in your body, and they cause oxidation. They cause your body's cells, they cause your body's everything to break down with oxidation. Okay, so let's put it in understandable terms and make it simple. And I'm trying to think of a way to make it simple. Oxidation, you've seen oxidation, like when you open a banana up, it'll oxidize, it'll start turning brown. When metal is not properly coated, that's why we paint metal so it doesn't rust. It begins to oxidize. It begins to rust and break down. Well, that's what happens in your body. Now we have stuff. I remember Big Red, that van we got. I got that van dirt cheap. It was like $2,700, but I think it was like $1,700. I don't know. Umbry knows. But anyway, when we got that van, it had a bunch of rust in certain areas. Wasn't in any critical areas, just somebody had spilled a lot of water in it. Well, we got some stuff that neutralized the oxidation, okay? And it sealed the metal. And in a way, that's what antioxidants are. Okay, that's what antioxidants do. They basically neutralize the rust, they stabilize the particles that cause your body to break down, and then they enable that way your body can rejuvenate and rebuild itself. So the long and the short is you need to be taking antioxidants. And in a nutshell, what antioxidants do is cleanse your body. They cleanse the blood. They make your blood nice and clean, and they rejuvenate and restore stuff. And antioxidants will make you look younger. They'll clear your skin up. This is why, like, some of our super powerful antioxidant herbs, like our poke root and blood root, and I think I've only sent one person's stuff that had some blood root in. That's we have some high level herbs that we don't give the general public or expose them to in any way. Like, if we give you some stuff like that, you got to be in elite shape. Hence, with the brother we gave him to, he was in elite shape. Okay, so, but anyway, there's herbs that are very high in antioxidants. One of the herbs that are the highest on the ORIC scale, and the ORIC scale is a scale that measures the antioxidant power of foods, vitamins, herbs, drugs, all this stuff. One of the most powerful herbs, there's some more ones more powerful. One of the most powerful herbs is cloves. Cloves is very powerful. Matter of fact, I made a clove tincture and I let that thing sit for like 6 or 7 months. And y'all, I took that thing and put a drop of it on my tongue, and that stuff burned for like 15, 20 minutes. I thought it was going to eat through my tongue. I mean, that's how strong that crap was. And so I put a couple drops in water and drank it, and you could still taste it. It's just a couple drops in a cup of water, and you could taste it strong. Cloves is a very powerful antioxidant. And there's a bunch of other ones. What's that called? Damn, I can't remember that one. Yellow dock is a powerful antioxidant. Cleavers is a powerful antioxidant. Poke root is a powerful antioxidant. Anyway, but what I did, I researched all these herbs. I was researching them for hours, researching this stuff, boy, day in, day out. And it's like I'm driven because I like doing it. I got a thing for doing it. And I spent a lot of time. And what I did is I made a antioxidant tea. And I'm testing it right now. And I'm telling you, man, literally the day I drunk it, I could feel results. You know, I could feel the results because like there's a condition I have where can't let my blood get too dirty. And man, this stuff just cleaned it out. I was like, wow. And everything I researched pointed that this stuff was what I needed to make and it was what I needed to do. And I put it together. I made it. It was pretty straightforward. Once I did all the research and looked in the right places, and man, this stuff, I'm gonna continue taking it because I want to test it for like a month. And if it's what it's looking like it is, man, this stuff gonna be a game changer. Like this gonna be this shit. This gonna be one of the big ones here. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what it does, and like the herbal combination in there, it's like a who's who of the heavy hitters in the herb game. You know what I'm saying? So it, it's real powerful. And like I said, red clover. That's a big one. But yeah, it's a who's who in the herb game. I mean, it is what it is. It's a heavy hitter, and some of these herbs in here do a myriad of other different things. They cleanse the lymphatic system, get all that other stuff moved, everything else. But again, specifically combined for their power in the antioxidant area. So that's why I put them together, and that'll be coming out soon. And but like I said, it's in the test phase. I ain't putting nothing out there and talking on nothing unless it's been proven. So if in the future you really stop hearing me say anything about it, you know why. Okay, but because it didn't really amount to nothing. But right now it's looking good. It's looking good. The preliminary tests. Okay. So that's a big one. Now, here's the controversial stuff. Y'all let me know, but again, I poured a lot of research in it, and we're going to test this out too. Is DNA? You get your DNA sequence, and basically what that does is because they did the Human Genome Project where they mapped out the whole human genome, so they know with all the DNA strands what they do and what they control and all that stuff like that. So the way that works is you get your DNA sequence, you get all the raw data from that DNA sequencing, and correct me if I'm using the wrong terminology for it, but anyway, you get all the raw data from that, and you upload it to these things. They process all that sequenced information into something that you can understand, and they'll show you, hey, you have a mutation in this DNA sequence, which would give you a high probability of being give you a high probability of having this disease or this condition or that, or weakness in this area, or genetic weakness in this area, this, that, and other. And when you see this and you have this data for your life, so it's basically a breakdown of basically how you're put together, so you can see any weaknesses you might have and strengths and whatever. And now, instead of me guessing, hey, I have this symptom, I feel this way, let me throw this at it to see if this rectifies it. No, now you can look at this stuff and it's like, okay, you have a weakness here. So now you could take this herb, you have a high potential for thyroid weakness. So now I could put together a thyroid blend and boom, directly hit that thing. And we know without a doubt, without any guesswork, what we're going after. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on now on myself. I'm going to get my stuff sequenced, see if the data lines up with stuff that I already know I got going on. And we're going to see if that works. We're going to see what it be on that. So that's the leading edge. That's the future stuff I'm going to be working on here. And with that, I'm going to go back, and I see y'all been putting a lot of questions, comments, concerns in here, and we're going to go through them. We're going to read through them. So say shalom to y'all. See all y'all coming in saying shalom. All the shalomers. Let's see. Sister Crystal said, thank y'all, Brother Michael and Sister Koya, for the great products y'all put out. Yep. All right. Shalom to you. Koya said, I'm very thankful to Pastor and his household and for the support of Israel. Very thankful. All right. All right. Shalom, Brother Michael. All right. Let's see. All right, Koya said the tinctures sold out. Pre-orders are live on the website and will ship on 10/7/22. So put your order in, and when the next batch is ready on that date, 10/7/22, it will ship. Okay. All right. Manuel told me, brother Chris. Appreciate it. All right. So we got a question. Shalom, brother Michael Israel. In what order should take the tinctures, and how long between taking the next one? Okay. So with taking the tinctures, kidney, adrenal is the first one you want to take. You want to take that kidney adrenal tincture. And the simple example I break down of what that's equivalent of is like, hey, you're not going to clean out the bathtub without the drain open. Okay. First, you open the drain, and that's your kidneys, and then you begin cleaning. And the kidney adrenal tincture, it primarily opens up the kidneys. It's also a tonifier and a rejuvenator of the renal system. So that's your whole urination system, to include the prostate. Now, again, I formulated this tincture for the kidneys and all that, but those herbs in there, anything which with your urinary system and your reproductive system and all that stuff down there, all them glands and all that stuff, it's going to be beneficial to that. It can reverse. Ooh, let me be careful on how I say that. Let me word it this way. Any issues you might be having with your prostate, it will address them. Y'all put a 100 up in there if y'all get my subliminals. Okay. All right. So you take that kidney adrenal tincture first, then the lymphatic tincture. And then the proper order of everything is you get on a high fruit diet first, then the kidney adrenal tincture, then the lymphatic tincture. Okay. But I'll tell you this, by the time you get on you've consistently stayed on a high fruit diet, and by the time you get on the kidney adrenal tincture, you're already going to be feeling light and day difference and see beneficial results of that. You know what I'm saying? If I said that right. All right. So that's how you do that. As far as the vitamins, you need to get on them. You know, the vitamin D. Go get a blood test and see where your vitamin D levels is at. And again, from the stuff I read, they said have your vitamin D up at like 80 to 90 nanograms per decimal liter. Correct me if I said nanograms per decimal liter wrong or whatever. But anyway, around 80 to 90. And that's when you start seeing some stuff happen. And like I said, I'm up at 60. I might be approaching 70 now, and I'm beginning to see and feel some results, like getting better night's sleep. But we will see, because I was pretty worn out yesterday. I had a busy day today. Let's see. So in that order, okay. Vitamin B is like, if you're not eating a lot, like I don't eat a whole bunch of meat to that degree. And I got my blood tests, and the results, there were blood cell issue because I wasn't having enough vitamin B. So the different B complexes and stuff like that. And this is the B complex I take. Okay. Boom, 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 bam, bam. Try and get that glare off there. Okay. And I bought it off of Amazon, y'all. Okay. So Mario, I hope answered what you was asking. Shalom and blessings to you too. I like their products. All right. I like your comment. Somebody said that was what I was talking about earlier with Kill Gates and chemtrails. All right, somebody said this was a good way to explain about vitamin D. Thank you. Thankful to the Father for the teaching on health through you, brother. All right. All right. Get it, brother? All right. That's what somebody said. All right, here's another question. What's too much at one time or in one day for vitamin D? Okay. When I was super duper low. So when I started out with vitamin D, I think I was taking 500 IU a day. And then I slowly kind of ramped it up. Then I was doing 5,000 IUs a day. And, some of the stuff I was reading, they're like, no, man, you should take 20,000 IU a day. And somebody was telling me to take 45 IU. But when you're chronically low, again, mine was dipping into single digits. You start getting around those levels, you have heart palpitations, shortness of breath, all these weird issues start going on. Okay. All types of stuff, because every system in your body is beginning to bog down and run low. So you got to be careful. And again, just slowly ramp it up and listen to your body. A lot of people don't know how to listen to their body. Woo. A lot of people don't know how to listen to their bodies. So you just got to listen to what's going on. You cramping, like what's going, like cramping up all the time. There's something going on there, some of these issues, there's stuff going on. And that's what I'm doing, is establishing foundational health protocols, just foundational basic stuff. You can't sit here and eat cake and grain, a high grain diet day in and day out and not expect to have some issues. And I didn't go into all that, but we'll get into the getting off grains, how important that is. Because this is just a baseline, just hitting what you need to have some general health. Because look, folks is out here dying. People out here passing away in the Hebrew community, and people perish for lack of knowledge. I'm not saying this, what I'm putting out here is a heal all, end all, be all of everything. Just like Pastor Dow's message this past Shabbat. Look, a lot of this stuff is spiritual. Folks got spirits on them. A lot of this stuff, people need healing, And truth be told, all things can be healed. But don't get it twisted either, man. This wicked Greco-Roman beast system is a meat grinder. They're trying to destroy people out here. When you start reading and looking at what they're doing in this food and what they're telling us, it's like, and then you look in the medical system and you see, it's like, yo, there's an agenda to make money off slowly killing us. It's like, wow. Like, this is the wickedest thing ever. Like, it's never been this wicked in the history of man. It's like, yo, these people, whether knowingly or unknowingly, are working together to make money off our death. And that's just real talk, y'all. Put a 100 up in there if y'all get what I'm saying. All right. So she said, what's too much at one time or in one day for vitamin D? Don't do what I did, sister. Like I said, I took too much in one day. I took like 20,000, I think, in that particular day. Because coming back to me, I took 20,000 IU in one day with no magnesium. And like again, my body was depleted. So it was like it was sucking all that vitamin D up, and my body was, in order to suck it up, because it was a priority because I was chronically low, what my body's doing was pulling magnesium from anywhere it could. And I locked up so bad I couldn't even take a deep breath. It hurt to breathe in deep because everything was locking up. I came home and the brothers, because I was out there working with the brothers. We were doing some work on a house, and then my arms started locking up. I was like, oh damn. Then my back started locking up. Then I was having a hard time breathing. I was like, yo, I gotta go home. They're like, yeah, you getting old. I was like, yeah, whatever. I couldn't talk too much shit because I was hobbling across that street like an old man. Got in my car, went home, came home, laid on the bed, and didn't move. And Sister Koya and my daughters just came over there and prayed over my poor ass because I was just locked. It was bad, but it was also good because it was confirmation that I was on the right path, that it was working, and it worked. So again, slowly go up. Don't do stupid stuff like I do, where instead of slowly and patiently going up, I just take a mega dose and see what it do and see if it's a real deal. Don't do that. Go in slowly, get your vitamin D levels tested. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you want to do it, sister. So, but for me, 10 IU a day works good for me with a magnesium at night before I go to bed. And I can feel whether I'm cramping. And there's foods you also get magnesium from also. So, all right. Somebody said, let me pull it up here. Bless you. Pure encapsulation was bought out by Nestle in 2018. Nestle is owned by Monsanto. Well, I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you is I take it, be over here twitching like, I don't know. I take it and it worked good. Outside this little twitch I got. No, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I've been taking, and it works. I don't know. Now, I'll privy you on something here soon. We'll have a different option. Okay. All right. But yeah, then just do your research. If it's owned by Monsanto, do your research and find something that is reputable. Okay. That's my recommendation. But I know I have been seeing positive results with what I'm taking. And look, a lot of with this Monsanto thing, you damn near can't escape them. You gotta navigate through this thing with wisdom, okay? And trust that the Most High will lead you in the right direction. Because, like, this beast system, we live in it. That's like, in a way, it's like saying, hey, America is ran by devils and they worship Satan. And guess what? We're under their rule. We just got to trust the Father. And like I said, I've been getting good results from it. So that's what I could tell you. But I'm always researching and looking for the next best option. All right. Somebody said shalom to us. All right. So let me. All right. Somebody is speaking in all caps here. Michael, for my holidays offering, please share the importance of chlorine dioxide for treating many ailments. I can share my research if needed. Email me. please send me an email, Anthony, and I will research that. I will look into that. What herbs are good for male sexual health? All right. So I have an herbal blend that I'm putting together that will make your junk like blue steel. Boom! you be walking around, be able to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? But I want to tell you something. Okay. Nah, Mike, I don't want to hear that. I just want something I can take and it like, you know, yeah, there's stuff like that, but you have to be careful too, because you can hurt yourself. It can mess your heart up. Some serious conditions. So when it comes to that, just like with everything else, when it comes to stuff like that, it goes right back to everything I'm saying. Number one, diet. You gotta go on a high fruit diet. With the high fruits, the fruits are like detergents. Okay, fruit is like a detergent. It cleans stuff out. It's cleaning, and it's getting all the clogged up pipes. It's cleaning them out so everything can flow through them good, through the little capillaries and all that, and everything can work as advertised. Again, that antioxidant blend again is cleaning out and restoring everything to where it's at. Okay, now we're gonna start with fruit, then we'll get into herbs with all this stuff. So for the fruit, watermelon. What you do when you eat watermelon, eat deep into that rind too. Eat that rind of that watermelon, and that, I'm telling you, that makes a big difference. Because if you eat the white part of that watermelon, again, you know, you're going to be a batter making factory. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where the other thing is I'm putting together a herbal. It's going to be a tea first. We call it Be Fruitful and Multiply Tea. Okay. That's what we're going to call it. And whatever is made for the woman or for the man is going to work for the woman. You just slip some of that out there and they drink there and they're going to love you long time. Okay. But yeah, but it these herbs that works for both. It's going to target those organs on both men and women alike. Okay. So yeah, and that will be coming very soon. I would say because I was asked by somebody else to research into it, and I started doing the research, got it all put together, and we'll be rolling that out as a tea. And then eventually we'll make it into a potent tincture. Okay. For those of y'all who want to help grow Israel. All right. You want to help grow Israel organically. Okay. All right. All right. Somebody put, is there a place on the website where you can buy herbs separately that they sell to the public, like a place online to get any herbs separately? They don't sell this at a Major or Walmart. What part of what we do, me and Corey just research herbs online, and it's like certain types of herbs for different brands have certain types of herbs that are good, and y'all, it's a whole art and everything to that, because sometimes you will get herbs from some of these reputable herb sellers and you can look at it and you could tell it's not that plant. You could tell they just threw some filler in there. So again, the price of what we sell is pretty up there, because sometimes we'll order herbs and it ain't even, You be like, dude, this don't look like no damn yellow doc. This look like they went out there and got some grass clippings and threw that shit in this bag and sold it to us because they didn't have what they needed. You're like, let's order another one, and you got to do stuff like that. However, when we get on land, that's all going to change because we're going to be Israel direct with it. All right. All right. So even though you don't eat a lot of meat, do you still work out and are able to gain and continue to maintain muscle mass? I do not work out. The reason I stay in shape is because I don't eat grains. Grains, if anybody you see who is fat or overweight eats grains. So anybody you see who is overweight, they eat wheat. They're eating sugar cane, that's a grain. They're eating rice, pasta. They're eating grains, corn. Anybody you see who is overweight, this is the reason why they are overweight, because they are consuming grains. It's not because they don't work out or anything like that. Grains make you overweight, and they put that stuff in everything. And I watched this video where this guy was showing how they put corn in everything. I'm talking about in soap, in you name it, in some way, shape, or form, in capsules, the cellulose capsule, in everything. If it's a plant-based capsule, it's made for everything is corn. So in some way, shape, or form, you're consuming corn. But the reason I maintain my weight and my size is because I just don't eat grains. Okay, I'm not saying you because here in a straight way Nashville Assembly, people eat grains here. They do. They have their grains, their share of grains, but very sparingly. The meals we cook, like Sister Koya made chicken fettuccine or something like that. But the noodles are chickpea noodles. Okay? So that is how we stay fit. I need to get in shape though. I'm going to start lifting weights here soon and exercising to put on mass. If you want to put on mass and build muscle mass, take alfalfa. Consume alfalfa. You can eat alfalfa sprouts, and you can, they call it micro farming. You can grow the alfalfa sprouts right there in your house. Just research alfalfa sprouts, eat a bunch of that, and you're going to bulk up. That's how they bulk up horses, okay? Instead of feeding them grain, they'll feed them alfalfa sprouts and gives them a lot of energy and all that. So you can research that. Give me a 100 if you get that, all right? All right. Have you heard of Ezekiel 4:9 cereal or ever ate it? If it's grain, it's a damn shame. There you go. Nah. Yeah, that sounds like it's grain. Even, and I have to do a show on grains because ancient grains are different. But that's going to be a whole nother show. To help people be safe, we steer them to kind of go on a grain-free diet and test my boast on it and watch the weight melt right off your ass and test my boast, because it'll happen. While you sit on it, the weight will just melt off your ass. I'm telling you. And like I said, a lot of people's fat is due to grains. So, all right. So I hope that explained that. All right. All right, folks. I think people are getting what I'm saying. And like I'm saying, I'm not saying go on some freak show diet like some of these people. But if you shift to a high fruit, low grain diet, you're going to see differences. And this is something I'm telling you could try for 3 weeks and test my boast. And I'm not lying to you. But I always encourage people to test what's being told to them. Okay. All right. Y'all put 100 in there. That's good. All right. Dave. I know this guy. Dr. Dave Perlmutter, MD, wrote a book called Grain Brain, the Better Brain book. Good read. Yep. Grain Brain. There's a book called Grain Brain showing you how, and I'm just briefly hitting on grains, but showing how how grains affect your brain and your neurological system, because of these grains they grow today, and because of some of the stuff they spray on them and what it absorbs into it are neurotoxins. Um, if anybody's having Alzheimer's disease or any neurological or brain problems, cut grains out and you're going to see a difference. Okay? Cut the grains out and check your vitamin D, and you will see a difference. All right. Sister Koya said, yes, please be careful with your vitamin D dosing. Yep. All right. I like that, Sister V. Sister V's put USA, United States of Abomination. That's big facts. Sometimes there are disorders that can cause weight gain, but grains, carbs, and sugars do pack on the pounds. So, and like I said, I have a whole show on grains where I actually went through the history of these grains and what they're doing. I did a while back. I'll probably do it again because I got all the information. I saved it. Like I said, if I go in on grains real hard, you'll see how it affects your glands, your hormonal system, and it's crazy. Because what y'all got to understand, dude, grains is like, look at the food pyramid. The whole beast system is telling everybody consume this 3 times a day. It's a huge industry. It's a lucrative industry. So the stuff they're spraying and the stuff they do to these grains causes them to grow quick in these weird ways. And the stuff they're putting on them also does that to your body. It'll cause certain parts of your body to run real fast and other parts to run slow, and it's crazy. So you just got to understand that. Okay, so let me say something else because Koya kind of made a good point there. All right. She said carbs and sugars do pack on pounds. She said sometimes there are disorders that can cause weight gain. What I'm trying to do foundationally, what we're breaking down here is, yeah, like Koya said, grains aren't the only thing that are going to cause some of these issues. That's why I'm trying to establish a foundational kind of dietary way you can operate that is going to hit a lot of the issues I see people going through. Okay. So I just wanted to make that point because that was a good point that was made there. All right. Somebody asked, does anybody in the ministry sell products for infants and babies 4 months and up to help build their immune systems? Again, with your children, what you want to do is have them on a high fruit diet, and boy, especially don't have them on a heavy grain diet. Like the one of the children here, he's about 3, I guess now, or something like that. He damn near on an all fruit diet, and it, man, he is so smart. Like we had him out there working with us. He putting the lug nut on the daggone on the wheel. And I was like, hey man, did you get the so-and-so? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, dang, you talking like that? You know? So that's a huge part with the children, is having them on a high fruit diet. And they love that. They love the fruit. Big deal. I don't know about a child's vitamin D level, but get them in the sun, maybe. Get them out there in the sun to get them natural vitamin D the way Yah ordained it to be. Yah put the sun there for us to be in it. If we disconnect from that sun, from the way Yah would have us to be, we're going to have issues just on a practical level. On a practical level and on a spiritual level. We have to follow stuff the way the Most High laid it out for it to be done. And that's all we're trying to do is get back to the ancient ways. So that's another thing. Now, I will tell you a story that there's a sister here in Straightway. She gave her baby, I guess, was a little sick, and was stuffed up with something, with some type of cold, whatever it was, and she gave. And I'm not saying you need to do this, because like I said, I don't, it's a child, but she gave the child some of the antiviral tincture, a little bit of it. I'm not sure how much, but gave it to him. I guess a couple hours later or whatever, because the baby was full mucus. Baby took a shit and it was all mucus, and the mucus came out that end, and they were good to go. Praise Yah, his herbs, they work. It knocked it right up out of there. So, but again, I don't, on the Bible says, sure, Corey got, not for infants or whatever, it ain't no baby formula. She said, do not use if you are pregnant or nursing, because like I said, I didn't test that because I don't got a set of titties and all that stuff like that. So I didn't test it. I tested on me. So I know it's good for adults. You know what I'm saying? But if, experiment at your own risk, but don't sit there and say, Michael Israel said you would give it to children. I know. All right. So again, the most powerful thing you could do with the children is put them on a high fruit diet, and the babies and the infants. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Shalom, blessings, Brother Israel and Sister Koya, for y'all's sacrificial labor of love. Look forward to seeing you at the Feast of Tabernacles. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. I look forward to it too. All right. So let's see. Somebody said, I like how you have a monthly subscription on your products. I am always going to buy from you guys. Thanks for all what you do. All praises. Yeah, that is Koya's thing. Like I said, she is the manufacturing and production side of the household herbs. I am the I guess scientist and doctor side. All right. Let me see. All right. So somebody put, I recommend elderberry syrup to build immunity for toddlers at 12 months. I would recommend anything but breast milk for infants just to be on the safe side. Yeah, Michael Israel don't know a whole bunch about the brand new Hebrews, the baby Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? So there's some good advice there. All right, he said, can you make bundles or packages in the future with your products, like a 3-for-1 or buy one, get one free, and the Black Friday sale spree, laughing out loud? Yeah, Cora just made some type of reward program on there recently. So you check that out. She put it on the website. She was telling me about it, but I didn't understand it. So, but she knows what she's doing on that aspect. So that's something That's in her department. All right. What do you substitute grain with? Okay, so the sisters here at Straightway Nashville have a cookbook. And like for instance, we're having chicken fettuccine tonight. And it's the bomb. It's grain free. And we having garlic biscuits or something like that. That's off the charts. And it's made with like almond flour or something, and it tastes better. It's off the chain. It don't, like, these sisters here don't skip a beat on these meals. Like, we ain't over here on some type of starvation abuse diet when it comes to them cooking. Like, the food be phenomenal to the point where I don't eat out anymore. I don't eat out anywhere. I'm trying to remember the last time I ate out. I can't. I'm trying to think. Did I get pizza somewhere? I can't remember the last time I ate out. So that's how good the substitutes are. So, like I said, all of our noodles are substituted with chickpea flour. Chickpea noodles. Uh, One of the sisters had some like chickpea rice or something one time. Some type of grain-free rice. We have pancakes. The pancakes was off the chart. I think she made them out of almond flour or something like that. Sister Crystal recently said she did some research and development and made plantain bread, and it's off the chart. So that's like a fruit-based bread she made somehow, mixing plantain, the banana things with oil or something. Again, the cooking's outside of my department. I'm a drag Koi on the show again to do that because that's her department. She don't like to be on the videos all the time like that. But I'm gonna get them to come on here, get her to come on here, and just go in about that, because don't get it twisted. We grain free. Like, the meals made here are grain free. Sometimes people get cookies, and when they up at Straightway, they eat whatever the cake and whatever's made there. Me, I'll be hardcore with mine. But I need to, because y'all be asked a lot of questions about. I know that this is a big part. Is, well, what do you substitute it with? The Madison, my oldest daughter, made a grain-free carrot cake that is off the charts. Okay, it will make you get in the car, go to your mama's house, and smack her. All right, it make you smack your mama. It's so good. Okay, so but yeah, it is off the chart. Let me tell you about that grain-free carrot cake she made. She made it, and she was like, all right, cake's done. And everybody came down. Everybody got them a little, a nice, small, righteous piece of cake. It's good. It's good. All right. Put the top back on the thing. Everybody went to bed. And there was a whole pyramid stack of it in there. Next morning, it just crumbs up in that mug. And I was like, what happened to the daggone carrot cake? Everybody's like, you know what I'm saying? Shit was gone. That was on point. Grain-free, sugar-free. Yes, no sugar. That's my oldest, so she's on it. And then the other two, my youngest and one of the other brothers, his oldest daughter, they went in there and they made like some grain-free cookies. Same deal. Everybody ate one cookie with their meal, and they're like, oh, bless you. Oh, good. Everybody went to bed, and then that damn mouse came in the house and ate all the cookies again at night. It's either a mouse or a damn Santa Claus. And Santa Claus don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Santa Claus come up in here, we're gonna shoot his ass. So we ain't got no mice here. So y'all figure it out. But yeah, so I'm saying all that and joking around because yes, there are grain-free substitutes. Okay? All right. Y'all laughing because I'm being funny. All right. So anyway, y'all, I have gotten to the end of y'all's questions, comments, and concerns. I'll be on here again in the future, time permitting, but we are pretty busy out here, just getting things established. It's that season. I'm looking forward to the feast days. I'm definitely gonna kick back and relax. But appreciate all y'all coming in, tuning in. It's just a blessing with y'all's been doing with Straightway Florida, which is now Straightway Nashville. What he's been doing with the brothers and sisters here in this home assembly, with the growth I've been seeing in them, and what he's been doing with my family. And hey, it doesn't, it comes, everything in life is a fight to move forward. So it comes with fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's warfare. It's, what's the name of my show? Spiritual combat. That's what it is, man. And we're fighting in the spirit for this, getting after it, on a spiritual level and on a literal level. And we're following the example of Pastor, the high example that's been set before us. It don't require a whole bunch of talking. You just watch the footwork, man. And now being up here in Tennessee, man, we get to go up there and see it, you know. So yeah, but we're pressing forward to Mark. I thank the Most High with what He's doing in my life and Him giving me a zeal to just learn about herbs and His health stuff and everything. And something in me is I'm getting towards the end of this, to having this thing where, okay, we got a basic health thing laid out of just how to be in a direction where you're generally moving in a healthy direction. We're reaching that baseline, just a basic foundational health. Hey, are you operating this way? So that's a blessing too. Anyway, y'all, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. Again, another episode in the Hebrew Health series. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. And with that said, we're going to wrap this up. Shalom, shalom, y'all. All right. Shalom, shalom.